CR101radio.com, podcasts, and more.
19. Maintaining the Surface, February the 7th, 1956. Good morning, friends. For many people, not only beauty, but all life is only skin deep. Integrity, honesty, and character are no more than appearances, and a man's acceptability is to be judged in terms of his tailor and his social manners. Man desires to live on surface appearances only. He wants the world to accept him as he appears to be. His whole life is devoted to the cultivation of a successful appearance in all its ramifications. The derivation of our word person and personality is from the word persona, meaning mask, and referring to the masks worn by actors in the ancient Greek drama. And indeed, the word is still apropos, in that, for most people, their persona and personality is dedicated to the proposition that the real creature must be masked by the person who fronts for the self, who acts as a public representative for the inner man. This inner man believes in selfishness, for example, and lives only in terms of it, but the person who is the mask, the public representative, piously affirms a faith in love, cooperation, unselfishness, and sharing. We want the world to accept the public mask, but we want satisfaction for the inner man's self-centered demands. Yet we dare not live openly except in terms of the mask. We want the world to accept our appearance and ask no questions. Such a man prefers to take the world and its peoples as they appear to be and ask no embarrassing questions. Life is much more livable all the way around if masks and hypocrisies are honoured and no pretences destroyed. Of course, such a man enjoys some mild debunking because it gives him pseudo-wisdom, a smug satisfaction that he is superior because he is in the know. But his self-consciousness only accentuates his hypocrisy and reveals more clearly his evasion of all truth and reality. The nature of all such men is revealed in their approach to God. Living in terms of appearances only, they expect God to accept their appearances and justify them accordingly. In other words, they ask God to accept each man, not as he is, but as he appears to be. No man can be justified as he is. Therefore, men demand that God accept a substitute for themselves, either words, wisdom, mystical experience, racial standing, or like substitute. Men hate everything that threatens surface appearance, and therefore, in spite of their pious masks, they hate God, because he destroys all masks and lays bare all sin in its essential perversity and rebellion. Because these masked men demand appearances, they therefore seek out and build churches that will bless and approve of surface appearances and justify them. And of the building of such churches there is no end. The church then itself becomes a mask for pious evil and an appearance used in an attempt to delude God and man. The true church, which wages war against all appearances, becomes a troublemaker and a public enemy to all masked men. But all the efforts of the masked men are futile. In the words of the Gospel, "This is their condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil." John 3:19. The Lord destroys all masks, all appearances, and we either surrender them voluntarily, acknowledging that we are by nature sinners, and then accepting his gracious salvation, or they are stripped from us to our confusion, shame, and judgment. When we receive his saving grace, we are given a new inner man, now no longer a perverse rebel against God, but a new creature in Christ. Now no surface appearance can equal the inner glory, and our happy function and responsibility becomes one of revealing to the world that which is the glorious reality of our lives. Christ in you, the hope of glory. Colossians 1:27.